It's like gonna be like our
Our intro.
Bill and Ted thing.
Oh, Bill and Ted.
Instead of like.
Hello, you night owls.
There we go. How many night owls do we have today? How many people are going to tune into this live right now? I'm not sure. You heard our laugh there? That's me logging in so I can go ahead and read comments so you guys can see us facing the right direction and read everything the right direction. And we are here to talk about this black and white movie.
Yes.
Like the movie. The movie's in black and white. Made in 1958. Well, released in 1958. Called
Attack of the Puppet People.
So, Attack of the Puppet People. Interesting name.
Totally off from what Randall and I predicted.
So, they weren't puppet people. They were puppets.
In a sense, puppet-sized. Miniature, miniatura.
Anyway, hold on.
Praise Jesus.
I'm Randall Villafane. This is...
I'm Mac.
And we are the Ram Film Review Team. Ram Bros.
Let's do this again.
All
we
right.
are the Ram
Bros.
Film Review Team.
Ram Film Review. And we had to work on coordination.
It's fine.
People
like the raw footage. No editing, no cuts, nothing. Bing, bam, boom. Let's get to the show.
And on a as much as possible basis, we're going to go ahead and watch random, mostly horror, but many other kind of films. And we're going to go ahead and partake of their entertainment and then share with you all our opinion, our thoughts, and our view, and our comparisons, our references, whatever we saw in these movies that we enjoyed, that we laughed at, that we hated, and things that would either lead Mac to say, okay, this is going right up with Mercari tomorrow, or for him to say, I'm going to keep this in my collection, just like Otis has now remained in his collection and will probably stay there because it was fantastic.
Exactly. If you don't know what Otis is, if you can check our RAM .film reviews on Instagram. Our review is fully posted.
Yep.
We talk about the movie.
Yep.
But yeah, as Randall was saying, either I keep this or I sell it online.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a keeper. It's just I love the cover. Nothing to do with the movie.
Well, let's put it like this: like comic book versions of collecting. This is going to be your reader copy.
My reader copy.
Until you're able to elevate it until one that the guy didn't decide to be a dick and write all over it.
Yeah, he wrote on the art cover and on the actual disc. I can't read the first three letters, but it says "No ID stolen."
Yeah, because I guess it was required to have an ID.
Yeah, it's a rental, blockbuster rental. The disc is still in the fucking Xbox. But yeah, let's get going. This is our first black and white film we're reviewing.
Yeah. Well, first black and white film there that we're reviewing as Ram Film Review, and again, like we went ahead and about an hour or nearly 2 hours ago did a prediction live, and the prediction was trying to assume what's gonna be the content of the movie, because we go ahead and watch these completely blind. We don't want to read plot structure. We don't want to read what might happen. We don't want to read details of anything. We don't read the back cover. All we go off is based on the image on the front of the thing, and we saw a poster image in the back.
Any stills in the background, anything like that.
Anything that stands out that can kind of give us an idea of what to expect in the movie. Of course, we're going to learn how many movies do not give much information based on the cover, because even with Otis, we thought he was dancing with a corpse.
Correct.
And we come to find out that it wasn't a corpse, it was just a girl who was basically like dead inside.
Correct.
But there was some close bit to it. We missed the mark a bit on the predictions for Otis. We didn't post that one.
No, we didn't. But as we progress, we got ideas, whatnot.
But okay, so back with Attack of the Puppet People. To give you guys the concept or the idea of what the movie is, right? Our prediction was wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely wrong.
Once again, I thought it was just, puppets attacking, having revenge on somebody or something. I thought it was the dog. There is a dog in the movie. This type of dog, or whatever you want to call that. Clearly, no resemblance, but
yeah, no, it didn't look anything like the dog in the movie either. Preacher commented on the prediction.
Oh yeah, Fadi, much love, thank you.
He commented saying that he thought it was going to be Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with no humor. And that was probably the closest you can get to it.
Right on the money, yeah.
It was pretty freaking close because, they threw in their bit of kind of humor-ish things to it. Nothing that really caught us as funny, but the movie had its
50s comedy. I'm not used to it.
Yeah, it had its version of little things here and there that were supposed to come off as humorous, but nothing like, let's say, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids at all. Nothing like that kind of humor.
I'm sorry, but the main protagonist, Dr. Franz, which I believe is played by John Hoyt.
John Hoyt.
Amazing actor. It's first time seeing him on film, on on the screen. But pure psycho, no emotions, abandonment issues like a motherfucker. Basically anybody that he liked, any sign that it might leave him for good, attack.
Yeah. So to give you guys the gist of the movie without spoiling the outcomes or anything like that, because we would say this is a good movie, a fun movie to watch. Don't expect it to be a horror-filled film. Don't expect it to be much of an... It has its moments that you would consider thriller moments.
Oh, most definitely,
right? Yeah. It's just an entertaining movie. And to give you the gist of the movie, it's a guy who was left and abandoned by the person he loved, and he wanted to find a way to keep all those he cared for and loved with him always. And he explains in the movie what he does, but basically what he does is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of thing. He shrinks the people down to a doll size and then keeps them intubated in a tube in like in a form of, the classic lovely term that they use so much in the 50s, sleep animation.
Yeah, exactly. and I'll give you an example. If you're familiar with the live action team and team films, the TCRI or TGRI, whichever you want to choose, vial container, about that size.
Yeah.
And what Randall pointed out, which in the 50s, CGI, it was not great compared to what's now.
Yeah.
So the way they went about making the puppet people look so real, it was just phenomenal. I liked it.
Yeah.
And I want to give that out. I want you guys to figure it out for yourselves.
Yeah, they did a really, really fantastic job at giving the impression when they're holding these tubes. Normal sized people are holding the tubes, and you get to see the tiny people, the people he's put down a size inside the tube, and it's just fantastically well done. Yeah. They chose really good. It was really well filmed.
Yeah, the angles.
The cinematography they used to do that, to create that, was fantastic, and much credit to the production team that put that together, because reality is for the year and the era of the film, it's just fantastically well done. Now, there are bits and pieces here where you can tell that they skipped on being thorough. One would be the presentation of the equipment that shows how this is performed, right?
That's Honey. Have you seen Honey I Shrunk the Kids?
Yeah, it's the same concept in the sense of there's a laser, there's something that shoots at you,
Shrink ray.
only shrink ray kind of thing, but it works differently than the shrink ray in Honey I Shrunk the Kids. But the doctor, or a doll fixer, repairman, and maker, presents how this machine works, and he's presenting it to the shrunken people. But the angle of where the people are watching from to where the machine is located in the office,
they didn't think it through.
It's absolutely off. That's probably the only thing I would say that I would complain about, really.
And actually, Randall, the thing actually, I put myself in the in the little puppet people's situation. Actually, was a little scared of how adaptable the people that were intubated for a period of 3 months or so.
Yeah.
How adapted they were to the situation. They didn't care. They just wanted, whatever the Dr. Franz provided them. Basically his point of view was, you have no bills, you have nothing to worry about. You go to sleep. When you come out, when I want you to come out. So it's just, he controls you, and
he feeds you. He keeps you healthy. You have no bills, no debt, no nothing, no job, nothing to concern yourself about except being awake and having fun.
And exactly. Like I said, he also provides nice music for you to dance.
Yeah. Entertaining music.
But yeah, it's just so horrifying to see how adaptable people got. And one of the ladies, she said she was fine with everything within the first 10 minutes. Who knows what family member she left behind? She didn't care for them. Anything like that. So maybe she was a lonely person. Who knows?
Maybe she lived a different kind of life that wasn't one she was gonna miss too much. Right. Or maybe it was because it came off a bit as she was the one who wants to be pampered, and in this form, she was being pampered, and that's what it came across. I mean, to me, that's the way I saw it. I was like, oh, this is a girl who just likes for things to be done and given to her, and it's, especially in that era, even through years, misogyny and all that kind of stuff exists. So you would see that might have been the example they were giving with that character per se. Regardless, it was really strange to see how comfortable they were in the setting, and yeah, it was an interesting view on that part too. But the film itself touches like a really touchy subject, and it's a subject that a lot of people that are dealing with like depression or mental health can relate to, which is reality of what loneliness is. And this is a man
can do for you, what loneliness, what brings. This is how he found comfort, and like he quoted. Well, I'm quoting him. When he's lonely, he just goes to his puppets, and he does.
Or he mentioned he calls them dolls. He never even called them puppets. He called them dolls. My dolls. He always said my dolls. I have my dolls. I go to my dolls.
And mind you, the way he introduced his dolls to strangers is just like, when you introduce your family member or close relative, boyfriend or girlfriend to somebody, oh, this is such and such, blah, blah.
Yeah, before anybody knew what was going on, he would always introduce his dolls like they were actual people. And again, it's that section of loneliness and what that causes, right? Like, you can understand somebody who's in a broken state of mind and they find their comfort and their escape in a form, and him being a doll maker found his escape through his dolls, to the point where he started turning people into dolls so he can keep things that will talk back to him and play and have fun, and he can watch them and they can never leave because he has complete control.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was an interesting aspect, and when you consider this as a movie from the 50s where eras were different, but yet somehow it's so continually relatable to even nowadays. You know, like that's what struck me the most when it comes to the character and the Doctor himself, because even when the dolls were in, let's say, what one would say escape mode, like his reaction was like, please don't leave me, don't leave me. It wasn't like, no, stop, I'll kill you or anything. No, it was literally just, don't leave me, don't leave me.
Exactly. He just wanted them there.
Yeah.
You know. So another fact, the MGM owns Midnight Movies, and back then in the 50s, Midnight Movies were movies, of course, played at midnight or later. You know, strange movies, movies that would leave you shocked. You know, back in the day. So
yeah,
it's a little fun fact. If you find anything Midnight Movies, you know, it's anything, something different than your normal film. So check them out, pick them out. You know, if you don't like it, hey, pass it on to somebody that might do.
Yeah, I would say it's an enjoyable movie. The only thing, I guess, I won't spoil the ending, but I will say that the ending could have been a little more climatic. It could have been a little bit more stronger of a finish. I mean, it finished with a strong statement in a sense, but not climactic enough.
Yeah, well, the title is. I don't know why they picked that title.
Well, remember, that wasn't even the original title.
Which was?
The Fantastic Puppet People.
That would have been better, because,
it would have been more fitting, but would you have picked it up?
If they kept this cover, yes, of course. But then again,
I don't think you can put that cover with the word Fantastic Puppet People.
I would.
No, I know you would, but in the 50s, do you think they would have? I think they wanted to make it more dramatic and more terrifying looking, so they went with a stronger term. I mean, the biggest attack that happened in the movie was when one of the dolls, the human dolls, attacks an actual puppet. Because we come to find out that the only part that was puppet related was that he used to be a puppeteer, but he's no longer a puppeteer.
Yeah, he moved on to creating dolls.
Yeah.
Something Randall and I, we paused the movie to look up, was the...
Oh yeah, when they go ahead and try and,
dial the cops. What do you do with dial the cops? 911.
Yeah, because the line in the movie was, they pick up the phone, it's a larger than them phone, obviously. They pick it up and they go, does anybody know the number for the police? Yeah. And both me and Mac at the same time went like, the what?
Yeah, just dial it, 911.
It was a realization at that point. I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe 911 didn't exist then. And then we go ahead and did our own little research there at that point, found out 911 came into play in 1968 in Alabama. That's where it first got instituted, and then eventually started growing and spreading. But it didn't exist until 1968. This movie, 1958, is when it released. Yes. So obviously 911 didn't exist.
Yeah, they had their own, I think it was a city had their own local number. I think it was 7 digits. And yeah, it was in Haleyville, Alabama. So it's pretty interesting. And also we found out too why 911 was chosen as the emergency in the United States and Canada back then. We'll also find out that I think 911 is used in Mexico nowadays too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 911 was chosen because back then
the rotary
phones.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, with the rotary phone, it was simpler to find. If you were in the dark for any reason, it was simpler to find the 9 and the 1. So you would know that to the right of the 0 is the 9. So you grab the 9, you pull it across. Da-da-da. People who remember rotary phones. If you're too young for this, I'm really sorry. You need to learn some history of technology's growth. And to the left of the 0 is the 1.
This is quick.
So you just know 9, 1, 1. And that's why they made it so simple, so it can be quick and effective and easy to recognize in the dark, or if you're blind or whatever it could be. But it made it easier, more effective, and that's why those numbers were chosen. And even if you had in the era of the push button phone already, it was easy to know where the 9 and the 1s are because it's always going to be on opposite corners.
Exactly.
So that was the reason that they chose those numbers, and eventually grew to being the national, emergency service number that we all know.
Yeah,
but
also because back then, people just marked 0 for the operator.
Yeah.
So the operators would be liable for what's happening, and then they will contact the police stations, and sometimes the I want to say victims, but the caller wouldn't know their location.
Yeah.
So the customer service, they didn't want to be reliable on that. So that's when they became, I believe they got the dispatchers and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, because if you put into perspective, and if you've watched any old films, you always recognize that every time they do call the police, in any of those films, nobody ever knew the local number. Mm-hmm. It was always, operator, get me the police. Operator, pass me the police. Operator, pass me to the police. Those are the terms always used in old school movies, and that literally is the example of how it was back in those days. Before pre-911
mm-hmm.
and pre any of this modern technology existed,
exactly.
Obviously.
Even before that, I believe the police officer and certain citizens would have a key for the booths, the telephone booths.
Yeah.
And basically, you put the key in, and there will be 11 options, for murder, thieves,
arson, fire,
anything. You'll mark from number 1 through 11, and then pull a handle, and that will go directly to the police station to know what you're calling about. And there's this whole back and forth. But
so in Rand Film Reviews, you also get history lessons.
Yeah, we like to know.
We literally went through the details of the research of this because we opened up, and I think people know this is how things work, because this is when you go down that rabbit hole in YouTube, right? You see that one video that triggers you to go see the next video, and the next video, but what happens in this video?
How did I get here?
Yeah. So it was that, we viewed the 911 thing, and then immediately I see Mac staring at his phone, just scrolling. I'm like, are you researching more? And he's like, yes, I'm finding out that they did this and they did that. And I was like, oh, shoot. Okay, let me look up on my end the other stuff. And then all of a sudden, for 5 to 10 minutes, probably 5 minutes or so, we just stayed on 911 topic and how everything evolved little by little. The process of evolution from the point where it was a designated person with a key using a lockbox that's a direct patch line to the local police, to the point where it was 911 being introduced in 1968.
Yeah, exactly. And then way before back in the 1800s.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I believe in traffic signals or something.
Yeah, they had a light.
A red light.
Yeah.
If it was on, the cops would know. In intersections, there you go. The cops would know something's going on. Also, that brings a lot of questions. Is who they go to? Where's the crime being committed exactly?
Yeah. Yeah, but in the end, like I said, this movie, Attack of the Puppet People, had nothing to do with puppets, but entirely was a really enjoyable film. It was, it made a great statement with the whole loneliness factor, which wasn't what I was expecting at all. And I think that's why maybe me and Mac gravitated to it so much, because it actually touched base with a mental health related kind of thing.
Correct.
But obviously, it turned the doctor into an evil dick who wanted to turn people into his personal belongings.
Yeah, mind you, even though Dr. Dick was the way he was, like Randall said, the whole loneliness, we've all been there. We all go through it. I felt for the guy, so I didn't feel too bad on what he was doing, in a sense, but. Yeah.
To a degree, not that you didn't feel too bad, but to a degree, it was understanding.
Yeah, exactly.
There was an element of understanding his mental state and the reasonings behind what he's doing. I think the only way I would have looked at it different would have been if they were comfortable to stay in that form.
Which the majority of them were but
until
the new. I guess the new.
Eventually, you have to see the film to see. We don't want to spoil it, but
the new members of the family weren't,
as accepting to the change.
So,
but
it just asks, it's just the question like, how long in that state of size are you gonna be comfortable? Of course, like I said earlier, the lady was comfortable in the first 10 minutes. The other people maybe crazy. In about 3 months or so. But then there's also other puppet people he didn't release, which that's what kind of
the mailman.
Oh yeah, the mailman.
He never released the mailman, and he never released. I'm wondering because he kept on insinuating. Oh, that's the thing. He mentioned the lady that left him, right, and left him for another man.
So that could be the start of it all.
But I'm wondering if eventually she was one of those tubes, because there was another woman.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 tubes of the puppet people that weren't released. Yeah. Which is, I wanted to know like why. He kept releasing the same people over and over.
Yeah.
So I wonder why. Maybe these are more troublesome people. Maybe they try to get away. Maybe they try to harm him.
Yeah.
Give or take the cover. Which,
I mean, with the mailman, and I don't think it's a big spoiler with the mailman, but with the mailman, I think it's going to be that he was accustomed to his normal mail person, and then the mail person was going to retire, and then he disappeared 3 days before retiring.
Correct.
So it just seemed like every time somebody was ready to move on to something else, he was like, "Yeah, cool. Can you come back here with me real quick, though?
Yeah, I'll show you something.
Let me show you. Let me show you something special." And
yeah, well, people that he liked, and he didn't want them to leave. So it could have been somebody he didn't like. You were gonna leave, but
So I guess you needed to be on the bad side of him to be okay, to be safe.
Exactly.
All in all, I will say enjoyable film.
Yeah, give it a try. Why not?
I think it's one that people will like if you are into black and white films, if you are into movies. And storylines and plot lines and the way acting was in the 50s. This movie was really fun. I always love old-fashioned acting like I do. I know it's a lot different than it is now. There was a lot more overacting in those days. It's like, "Oh, sir, how dare you say these words to me?"
But it's funny that he mentions that. We also, Randall actually pointed out the kissing in the 50s. It was just...
It was, You could tell her, like, "Listen, you're going to kiss, but don't make it too spicy. We don't need you to do the Elvis Presley and move those hips too strong. You need to be smart and wise here. So what you're going to do is just press your lips together real quick.
Force your face against mine.
Yeah. Force the face like you're trying to glue lip to lip, and then remove, and that's it. That's all we want to see. We don't want to see anything else. Even though I will say, in the 50s, and I was telling this to Mac, is like they were really risque when it came down to women undressing or showing off lingerie or brasiers and stuff like that.
Which happened really briefly in this film.
Yeah. They were really risque with that kind of stuff, so it surprises me that they were so, not lax, but the opposite. They were so stuck on kissing not being anything too, I guess, provocative or too sensual. So it's weird that era was like that. It was like, show some cleavage. It's fine. Show it off. It's fine. Show your bra off. It's okay. Show it off. And then you're going to kiss? Yeah. You remember the rules. Remember the rules. And flat face, no movement, just straight. And then release.
And then Randall, I remember I was like hesitant on reading these fun facts. And bright orange was back cover.
Yeah, they have extremely fantastic fun facts on this.
So after the movie, Randall picked it up and he was just reading it out loud to me.
Mm-hmm.
So mind you, okay, let's just read it out.
Yep.
So 20 years after starring in his first picture, John Ager found his past coming back to haunt him when he co-starred in the film Attack of the Bee Movie Monster. Fact number 1. Fact number those.
And with that fact number 1, there is no detail to point out if it's because he got shrunk again, or if it's because he acted next to the same doctor again. Nothing like that. It's just a B horror.
Yeah.
Like there was no time. There was no explanation to why that's a fun fact that tied in to this movie.
We had to be living in the 50s so we understand that.
Or maybe you're gonna have to find that damn movie.
Which I wouldn't mind. So fact number 2, at the drive-in, Bob and Sally watched the movie War of the Colossal Beast, a film from the same director. These two films shared the original double bill upon their release in 1958. So Randall was saying that's like a grindhouse, a back-to-back film.
Yeah,
two movies back to
yeah.
back.
Double bill in the terminology would be is that the films are getting promoted and pushed on the same bill. And yeah, basically, like if you watched, what was it? Colossal.
Well, this one here it says War of the Colossal Beast, and in the film, it was the Amazing Colossal Man.
Yeah, and even when you search it, it comes up as the Amazing Colossal Man.
Yeah.
So, if you watch the Amazing Colossal Man first, and then you watch this one, then you're gonna see a glimpse of the Amazing Colossal Man on the drive-in. So you're seeing what would have been in those eras, probably usually are drive-ins, mostly. There were theaters, but a lot of people went to drive-ins in those days. It would have been a drive-in within a drive-in watching a drive-in.
Third fact: John Hoyt's Mr. Franz last film role was in Desperately Seeking Susan in 1985. He died in 1991.
The fun fact is his death. Why would they make his death a fun fact?
The man died in 1991. Smile. So, didn't you tell me this had a different title? Didn't you mention it earlier?
Yeah. Fantastic Puppet People is the original title. I don't think they would have put the same poster if it would have been that. They probably would have put the poster of them dancing.
When he puts on the music. We didn't check out the original theater trailer, which I wanted to check out.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, but a lot of those 50s trailers were always like over dramatic.
Sure. It's great. Better than probably worst. But no, definitely I liked it. Do you want to give it like you want to do like something?
Oh, wait, no, hold on. I did have a question here. If in the process we're in this position and we get intubated into being small people, what is your choice? Are you one that's trying to escape, or are you one that's trying to live the life of luxury where he comes out with mini champagnes that are large enough to get you drunk off your ass and cheese platters?
Oof, cheese platters.
I mean, he was bringing out everything. He was bringing out the stops, and obviously because I'm guaranteeing that wouldn't cost him a lot of money to get the size for miniature people.
Exactly.
But would you be comfortable in that setting, or do you feel like you would have been take charge, let's try and reverse that machine?
My life now with the people I know, definitely not. I wouldn't be comfortable. I like, no matter what's going on in my life, I love how my life is going, the people I know, and just to give that up, just to avoid paying bills, working, no. I'm not going to see the people that I like, so, no, I wouldn't be comfortable. I mean, grant you, it'll be a different life. Would I be one of the people who would try to escape? Of course. I mean, I'll be freaking the fuck out the first couple minutes, but I wouldn't adapt. What about you?
Damn. Staring me down like that, Mr. X-Ray. Yeah, I don't think I would have liked the idea of it. I mean, as much as one wants to escape bills and debt and taxes and all that kind of stuff, I'm not trying to escape taxes, U.S. government. But as much as everyone's trying to escape everything, yeah, like what Mac is saying is true. Like there's gonna be a lot of people that you will miss, and a lot of people that do care about you, and a lot of people that will be out there looking for you, not knowing that you've been shrunk into a little doll and now you're an old man's plaything, which sounds fucking weird. Let me not say that again.
And mind you, when there's some type of evidence that this puppet person looks exactly like you, there's still no evidence that that's you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he
you understand if you watch the
he
movie.
demonstrated ways to get around that. But yeah, ultimately, I don't think I would have been comfortable. Obviously, I would have played the part to satisfy, his. This is gonna sound weird.
Just say it.
His pleasures of having companionship. But it would have been always plotting on how to escape and how to get out of there.
Whoa, one of the, I would say, decisions of one of the puppet people on trying to get him woozy was one of his, try to use his own techniques on the doctor.
Which never...
Which I wanted to see that, but they never into that.
It never came into play fully, right? Because, okay, so what Mac is saying is the doctor to put the dolls back into the tube, and so they stay still, and like the term that I used before, they use like sleep animation, or what's the word? How he? No, he uses in whatever.
Go night night, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's good. You gonna go night night. He uses a medication to put them to sleep and knock them out, so they just stay there with eyes open and all. They kind of stay paralyzed in a sleep mode. So they look like they're up like dolls, but they're not awake. And one of the tricks used in one of the points is to try and get the doctor to fall asleep. And even though they took the steps to make all of this happen, they never fulfilled the task, and not because it wasn't done. That's not really spoiling much of the movie, really. It's not. Because it doesn't change anything. Nothing with that made a difference.
Yeah, and they were aware that it wasn't really going to work.
I mean, I'm going to assume that maybe they had some stuff they cut out.
Almost definitely.
Because it's really weird to me that they didn't follow up with that. He was a little bit different in demeanor at the end. On how he handled that situation right at the end.
Correct.
So maybe that's where it came into effect, but we never saw it take the effect. It was weird how they handled it. But what Mac is saying is true. Like, they were using the dose that they give the dolls.
Yeah, there you go.
To an adult-sized human or to a regular-sized person. So it was doubted that it would work, but it was like, let's try and give it a shot. But they never oh my god, it failed. Or, 50's acting, oh my god, it didn't work.
So I was going to ask you, Randall, and the viewers, if you want to start giving our ratings, like say 5 rams, 5 ram heads or some shit like that. That'd be kind of dope. Or 10 out of 10, or...
So do we do a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10?
Yeah,
I don't...
Like,
there's so many, like...
Double XL magazine with the 5 mics and shit.
No, I'm not... I understand that part. I'm trying to decipher what's better. Do we want to go 10? Because there's going to be movies that we're going to definitely place, in the 2. But if we put them at a 2 with 5...
That's still...
It makes it seem like it's a little bit more better than terrible. But I think a 2 and a 10 scale is this is still pretty bad. But a 2 and a 5 scale is
yeah, it's let's say Otis. For me, 9 out of 10. Under the Bed, 1 out of 10. Which I don't know.
I still haven't watched it, but it's still there. But I did mention it to Fungnatius, to Mr. Angel, that's the movie I'm supposed to watch soon. So
mind you, if this is your first time watching Film Reviews, I landed Randall here a Blu-ray movie called Under the Bed. Amazing cover, amazing monster, movie monster, but crap dialogue. This is just my opinion, without giving anything away. And I told him, like, this is a movie you have to watch. We got to review it, but I'm not gonna watch it again. So I'm waiting on him to watch it, and if he wants to review it, fine. We don't. That's just one that goes in the hidden files.
It literally goes under the bed.
Yeah. Oh, and before I forget, I want to give thanks to our man Plaqueta for providing
The decor?
these. Oh my God! I used to work in retail, and I forgot the name of it. Visuals, banners, I guess you could say. The movie monsters. Thank you, Plaqueta. You're the best for getting that for us.
Well, I think what this was is because every October they do the re-releases of all the classic horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be from. This one was recent.
This
Because
is 2018. Remember Michael?
Yeah, this is when I
I
think this is when they started doing the glow in the dark covers.
You're right. Yeah.
So they started doing the glow in the dark covers of all the classic movies, and I think that's why it's all green like this. And the retail outlet that does those is Walmart. So, but usually they destroy.
I didn't want to say the name.
Listen, they destroy. They
Walmart,
normally destroy.
Come get us.
They're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna do anything.
I
They don't care. They've seen me walk out with Funko like fucking displays, and they don't give a damn. Don't do that.
Yeah, we're not saying walk into your local Walmart and grab anything. We do not claim you.
I mean, if they tell you to stop at the door and they take it away, just take it away.
Or you can just pretend you're deaf. But yeah, these are just end caps, movie end caps for.
There you go. That's the word. End caps. Well, these are the end caps, and this is the main banner over the shelf where they had the movies displayed. But yeah, so this, I mean, it was gonna be obvious what we were talking about. When we're talking about DVD covers being glow in the dark. Walmart's literally the only people that do that.
You heard that here first. Ram Film Reviews.
I mean, when it comes to those movies, they've released these movies like 30 times.
That's true.
Like
which one I love? The slipcover with the VHS artwork on top of it.
Oh, I love when they do that. Listen, I am a super big fanatic about like alternate artwork on movies and stuff like that. You know, like anytime they can release the collection of Frankenstein 30 times, if every single time the covers look different and more badass, I'm gonna try and buy it.
Well, it's different compared to the one they overdid, Alex and Maya's the Deadpool movie. That I found it annoying. But then again,
there were some that were great though.
Oh no,
there were some that were great because
like,
what they did with that wasn't that they did a bunch of covers for Deadpool movie.
You're right.
It's that they did a bunch of movies with Deadpool covers. That's what I'm saying. There was a few that were really really good. I bought a few.
I take that back then. I thought it was actual Deadpool.
No, it wasn't Deadpool movies. It's they literally picked like movies from that year or that season.
Yeah. And
replaced the covers, and some were even classics, I think, too.
Okay.
But yeah, they did, including him or merging him into the artwork in some kind of way, or making him recreate a scene from a movie on the cover, and they did a really good job with a lot of them, honestly.
Well, I don't know why I thought that, but if I knew that, I would have picked some of those up.
Yeah, that was the whole gist of that whole event, or that whole promotional tactic that they were doing with Deadpool.
So to get back on track, we want to do what, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5?
Well, I think 10's the limits, right? So I think for me, because I wish the ending would have been more climactic, I would go 7 out of 10.
Nice. Higher than what I expected you to rate it. Okay.
I think for me it's because of the attachment to the topic. Like, I think that the storyline made it more of a valuable film for me.
Alright. Are you waiting on me now?
I mean,
it's my turn? Hot dog. Alright.
I can't be the only one rating.
Well, maybe our viewers want to rate, type it up. Let us know if you have watched it, what you think.
Yeah.
Or if you want to watch it, We'll try to let's actually see right now if it's on any streaming platform. But Randy here is looking at for us. I was actually gonna go for 5 out of 5, but then Randall did mention the whole loneliness topic, so I bumped it up to about 6 out of 10. Once again, to agree, not only to agree, but I didn't like the ending as well. Definitely didn't match the title for me. I thought it was gonna be more, action in the sense, more,
Yeah, it didn't carry on with the title and the imagery given in the cover and all that stuff. It didn't match at all. Yeah. It's a really intriguing movie. It's fantastically entertaining. Just it's not what you expect with that title and imagery.
Exactly. And I didn't believe personally the puppet people wanted to escape that badly.
I really love that you keep calling them puppet people, even though they were never called puppet people. They were dolls.
See what I have to deal with here?
But I've been laughing every time you say puppet people. I'm here, like, when we rewatch this.
So he's been laughing at you. Nobody has said anything. I see the comments.
Nobody said anything so far. But that's incredibly fun. So, if you wish to watch this movie, it is on Prime.
Oh, there you go. Beautiful.
So if anything, maybe when we run it on Twitch already, we can.
What? On
Twitch.
Twitch.
When we go on Twitch live.
Laughing at me.
Yep.
Homeboy, it's the remix to Ignition. I'm fresh out the kitchen.
Remember, you can't go too much R. Kelly. It's canceled. So.
I just think about the song. I don't think you're thinking about, buddy.
I'm just saying. They don't even play his music anymore, man. He's been removed from everything. Anyway, let's move on because this is gonna get dirty. You can watch it on Prime Video. If you have Sling TV, you can watch it there. If you have Paramount Plus, you can watch it there. And if you have Philo, you can watch it on there as well.
I've heard of Philo before.
It's on Apple TV if you want to pay for it, but a lot of people have Amazon Prime nowadays, I think. So if you have Amazon Prime, it is on there for you to watch. IMDb rated this a 5.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 29%. Shout Factory, which is more recognized for noticing B-horrors or low horror end movies or anything that's a little bit more out there or strange or different, have it at a 4 out of 5. And it is, percentage-wise, 85% of the movie, 85% of the people who watched this movie and decided to give it a review on through Google have liked the movie. So an 85% of appreciation for this movie through Google users. And that is basically like the rundown of this movie. Rotten Tomatoes, I never really take them seriously, honestly, because they've rated movies that I've enjoyed so much terribly. And
aren't those paid critics?
Remember, they have two sides to it. There's paid critics, and then they do the audience vote too. But usually the one that we see, like when you Google, is usually the paid critic one. And the paid critics are always gonna dislike like a movie that an audience is gonna find as a cult movie or like. Can you imagine what Rotten Tomatoes has? Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
I actually looked that up. Let me guess.
For critics,
I want to say 15%. Let's find out. What do you guess? Type and guess.
20.
Alright, 15, 20. So they gave this a 29%. Oh, wow.
Oh. Wait, hold on. Let's see. That's an audience score. That's the audience score. So the audience gave it a 45%.
Is there a way to find out the critics?
They might not have branded through critics, honestly. Because remember, this was more independently handled in a sort of way. Remember, it was done by a company that used to do porn, or did porn. And this was like one of their first like feature films. But yeah, the tomato meter.
Tomato.
Yeah, this is
Tomato.
yeah, that's 3 squashed tomatoes, so that's 3 out of 4 that said it was bad from actual paid critics. Extremely low budget.
Well, Jeffrey is a shit for liking it.
Well, because he's actually a fan of Ferdinand Ray and understood the concept of what this movie is supposed to be. Nice. Steve Crum from the Kansas City Can San says, title says all, original score is 0 out of 5. Steve Crum, you suck. But again, so I feel like it would be a fun movie for people to watch and enjoy. If you are a fan of black and white films, again, like I said, this is one of those that I think people would like. It would be an enjoyable movie, in a sense of storyline, purpose, and a run through in the film until the end. Just, you know, maybe the title could have been different, and maybe the artwork, definitely, because the dog came into play for like 5 seconds. So,
mind you, this is just our opinions.
What's up, Josh?
What's up, Josh? You might not even agree, and you might end up liking the whole film as a whole, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Let us know if you disagree with us. If you find something that we haven't spoken about.
Let me give you guys a close up of the artwork. You guys can see what I mean.
Sexy man coming through.
Okay, so here's on mine first, right? So see the artwork is that, and then you see the poster in the back was that. That was the original movie poster for the film.
I do apologize, the permanent marker on the art cover.
Yeah. And here's
camera camera 2.
For Ram.
Camera 1.
And then the close up of the poster here. So, like I said, the imagery, the name, doesn't quite fit the movie to what it really is. But nonetheless, it's a movie I would tell people go and watch. I enjoyed it. Topic is great, and purpose is great. Plot, I thought was on point for the purpose and everything that went through with the reasonings and everything that the doctor did what he did. Mm-hmm. So, in the end, like I said, I for me personally, it's a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Just wish the ending would have been more on point. Mac gives it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Cat lovers, watch the movie.
Yeah, they did a lot of fun things with the cat. Why didn't they put the cat on the cover? That would have been better.
Exactly.
The cat had more screen time.
Damn dog. Exactly. So
yeah.
This is our review for Attack of the
Puppet People, which are really dolls.
See, how does it feel? Well, thank you if you stuck around or if you watched this afterwards. Thank you if you guys follow us.
Just a quick reminder, we're only doing it on my IG temporarily. We're also doing it on ram.film reviews. Ram is Randall and Mack. That's what we're here, and that's what we're providing. This is what we're giving to you guys, and this is the way we like to occupy our fucking time. What else do you want?
Let's do this again.
Alright.
There you go.
So, we're gonna stop this. So this can be its own thing for this movie. And be back in like 2 seconds. And it's gonna be a really quick rundown of something else that we experienced that was fantastic.
I don't know what you're talking about, so
You'll see.
Catch you on the flip side.